सबको नमस्कार. I'm Dr. Mahesh, Joint Commissioner and Director from Center of Excellence, Hesarghatta, Bengaluru. We have been doing a lot of podcast series. I'm really honored to do the second in series with Secretary Alka Upadhyaya Madam. In this, a great episode of 21st Livestock Census has been envisaged. Welcome, Madam. And can you narrate in the opening remarks what is it all about this 21st Livestock Census initiated by Department of Animal Husbandry?
So, just as human census is important for any kind of planning, so is the livestock census important for all kinds of planning purposes. We are into the 21st livestock census this year, and we launched this census on the 25th of October, and we hope to conclude all work by February. It may spill over in certain difficult terrains because we will also now be entering into the winter season by March, but we are very sure that we will complete all regions by March of 2025, and thereafter, after the data is processed, cleaned and stratified, we would be able to come up with the latest census figures.
Thank you so much, Madam. It's a great mega exercise. People want to know what is the history of our livestock census and when was the last one conducted?
So, the livestock census has been done since the year 1919, and in the British period it was started. Post independence, the first livestock census done by the Indian government was in the year 51-52. We are in the 21st census now. The last census was done in the year 2019. It has evolved over the years. First, it was being done by the Department of Economics and Statistics. Then in the year 2007, this was transferred to the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy. Since then, the department has been conducting this census, and from the year 2013 to 15, the preparedness was made for digitally processing all kinds of data collected in the census, and then in the year 2019, the last census, there was a lot of improvisation and we started doing the census digitally.
Very nice, Madam. So generally, public and awareness ke liye, Madam, what are the critical data this census will provide for us?
So, we have several breeds in the country, and we would like to, species and breeds both. So, we are going to be covering all kinds of species and therein the breeds of cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, camels, horses, and you name it. And therein we also have different kinds of breeds coming in that will be covered under this census. The work has been done by NABGR to classify each of these breeds, each of these species, and also come up with a repository which has been converted electronically, so that when the enumerators go in the field, they will be easily able to identify, seeing the pictures, etc., as to what is the breed and the species that they are collecting. So, I am very thankful to NABGR also for doing this very important work of creating the breed registers. There are about 54 breeds which have been notified by the NABGR as far as our indigenous cattle are also concerned, which is of great economic importance to us. So, that is how we will be collecting all of this data.
Thank you, Madam. Just to move on another area of interest, Madam, we have started a separate ministry, and what are the new initiatives by the department which will be helped by the census also on the policy issues and the new initiatives taken, Madam?
So, this ministry came into being as an independent ministry by the name of Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy in the year 2019. And there are two departments, the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, and the other one is the Department of Fisheries. This census covers the Animal Husbandry Department, and like you all know that any kind of data is very important for doing any planning in the country. As far as the livestock census is concerned, we will be able to create or identify our production centers, the breeding tracts, the indigenous species, where and what is located. All of this will also be geospatially or geo coded. So, we know which species, which breeds are prevalent in which part of the country. After that, we will be able to plan as to what are the interventions required in a particular geography. For example, the western part of Rajasthan has a lot of camels. We will be able to know which district has the maximum population of cattle. We will be able to focus our efforts there. Similarly, for poultry, because now a lot of backyard poultry is also being done, we will be able to identify those centers as to where is the poultry cluster probability. Similarly, for cattle and buffaloes, and then also plan for our breed improvement. So, if there is a tract which has only ghee cow, for instance, we should be able to co-locate our semen stations having semen straws of the ghee cow. So, these are some of the things that we will be taking up. Similarly, we will be able to plan our vaccination schedules and programs. As we all know that in the northeast, there is not much of a population of cattle, but they have yak, they have mithun, they have a big business of piggery, etc. We should be able to identify these clusters also, and then accordingly we can plan our vaccination drives. So, this will be the basic data for us to calculate, compute as to what kind of vaccines are required in which parts of the country, how much has to be procured, in which part of the country the vaccines need to be concentrated for further logistics transportation, efficient logistics transportation. So, there will be a lot of activities that can be planned according to the data available.
Thank you so much, madam. As the saying goes, India is a country of many countries. So, we need to do a pragmatic approach and a strategic approach for a particular state. Madam, can you narrate salient data outcomes of the last census, madam, 20th Livestock Census, which happened in 2019?
So, I mean, we emerged as the number one in cattle population. We emerged as number two in, I think, in poultry population. So, there have been very important data sets which we have got. We have been able to identify which are the indigenous cattle and which tracts. So, accordingly we have also defined our breeding tracts. So, these are some of the outcomes of our last census.
So, let me move on to the specifics of this 21st Livestock Census, madam. It is a mega exercise, audience want to know what are the steps involved in rolling out such a mega exercise, madam?
Oh, it is really a big task, and it is dynamic. Even now we are seized with certain problems, and we are trying to resolve those things on a day-to-day basis. So, firstly, the enumeration blocks have to be finalized. This is as per the Census of India, the villages have to be identified. Within villages, there are certain habitations which are not a part of these census villages, which are very, very distinct. We have to have a coding system for these villages also. So, each of the village has to be given a code. Even now people are coming up, some of the states are coming up and saying ki some of their villages have been left out, and this entire exercise is based on the LGD directory, because there is a system to it. So, all the villages have been assigned particular LGD codes, and accordingly we are doing this. So, that is step number one. Step number two is computation of how many personnel will be required. State wise we got those numbers. One size does not fit all. So, we could not even have a single customized number to every state, or let's say for 20 habitations 1 person, or for 5 habitations 1 person, because as you know, India is a diverse country. There are populous states like UP, there are thinly sparsed population based states like Leh Ladakh, where 1 person probably may not be able to do more than 1 village in a day. So, we had all of those calibrations done. There was a technical team which was deciding on the species, breeds, which was also deciding on how many people have to be deployed. So, we have deployed about 1 lakh personnel in this, close to 1 lakh personnel. And then there are nodal officers working at the state level, working at the district level. So, it is a huge exercise even to train them. We had a national level training, thereafter we had 11 regional trainings, then we had 36 state level trainings and around district level trainings, 750 odd district level trainings, and in various phases we were doing all of this. Besides this, as I said, that this census is 100% digital based, will be done through pre-fed data. Handheld devices have been given, people were trained on the IT application of the software, and the software was written, so which was then tried and tested in the field. There were mistakes, there were lacunae, they were also kind of curated, and after this now on the 26th of October we have been able to roll out. There is lack of understanding amongst the users, so they have to be told and trained again and again. Various suggestions are coming that we should have an interactive MIS, we should have downloadable Excel files, we have to take decisions on all of these matters.
Great, madam. Just to understanding of the audience, madam, which of the division of yours is looking after this exercise?
So, we have Animal Husbandry Statistics Division, and there is a very senior level officer, advisor statistics, who is here. Dr. Hazarika is here, and he is doing a very fabulous job supported by his team. The National Digital Livestock Mission team devised the software for this, and we have now fully rolled it out. So, this was the division which has taken up this entire thing work. In the states also there are dedicated officers who are supervising this. I have been taking meeting with the states to understand how they are placed, how they are working, and it seems people have understood and people have now started the work. Work has started in a number of units.
Yes, madam. Can you elaborate more on digitalization, madam? What is the hardware requirement, software, and the total manpower at the state level, district level, and then at the grassroots?
So, one beautiful thing that we did was we did not deploy any extra manpower for digital intervention. We had the NDLM team, we told the NDLM team that this had to be done. So, the National Digital Livestock Mission team were the ones who created this software. At the state level, the officers or the PMUs which are there for NDLM, they were the primary handholders for the digitized dissemination of information, and so we did not deploy anything extra. But overall the deployment as far as financial resources are concerned, almost 419 crores of rupees have been allocated for conducting this livestock census.
Thank you so much, madam. Any pilot projects are we floating it, madam? Any state, 5 states have you been chosen as running for the pilot, or will be rolling out?
No, it has been rolled out pan India. It has been rolled out pan India.
So, almost we want to know about what are the global experiences in this field, madam? Any?
Yes, that's a very good question. And some of the countries like Australia, Brazil, they have been doing drone based or satellite based surveys. So, they are able to capture the images and then compute the numbers from that. There are many other nations which just go to the field and they capture the images because they have larger farms. In India, the problem is that most of our livestock are with small and marginal livestock owners. So, our spread is very huge, whereas in most of the western countries the livestock are in groups, big herds, 10,000, 5,000, 20,000, so on and so forth. So, for them to capture all this information digitally is much easier, but yes, of course, the geospatial capturing of information is something that we probably can learn and see how we can implement over here. Although as I said, it will be again difficult because we have very sparse population even of the livestock in each and every household. If they were in groups, you could set up an algorithm and find out the numbers, but here it would be more difficult. But I am sure in the coming years we will learn furthermore from the other experiences and refine our census work.
Thank you so much, madam. Under your leadership, the department is progressing very well, including all of us you're giving a lot of inspirations. So concluding, madam, regarding citizen involvement, especially if the farmers, how are we prepared, and what are the awareness or message you want to give to the public and for all the stakeholders, madam?
So that's a very good question and also very critical issue, because it also happens when anybody goes and starts asking how many cattle do you have, how many cattle are in the field, how many are with you, whether this has, what is the size of the your flock, so on and so forth. People get a little suspicious also. So we have created a buzz amongst the livestock owners through various TV commercials, through Akashvani, through Doordarshan and various other radio formats, and also social media, to make them aware, so that they do know that people are going to be coming to them and asking questions on these matters. But as you also know, the involvement of panchayats has also been done, and panchayats are the fulcrum of all kinds of mass level activity in the villages. So with the involvement of the panchayats also, we are making people aware, and they are now actively participating in the census operations.
Madam, one more interesting thing is, how do you expect public to reach or the stakeholder to reach for any help from our department? Do you have any helpline or any other connective numbers for the public, madam?
So basically, for people to reach us, I think mostly the enumerators and the supervisors in the field, and maybe some Gram Panchayat officials or owners would like to reach us. For this, we have created a helpline with a toll free number which goes by 1800-115060. So this is the helpline number where people can reach out to us and ask for any clarifications. Because it is being done digitally, sometimes there may be some kind of a confusion even on the software. So for all of these, we have created this helpline, and I am sure this is going to be very helpful.
This is a great information, madam. Public will utilize it. Kindly call on this toll free number. Thank you, madam. Final message, any message to the audience, you can give a message.
So as I always say, this is the sunshine sector. As I always say, that data is very important for any kind of policy intervention and strategic interventions. Hence, truthful data is very, very critical for any kind of policy planning, be it human health, livestock health, or any other purpose for that matter. My request to everybody would be that please be proactive in giving information regarding the livestock that you own. I would also be very, very grateful if you give the right information about the breeds, etc. For the first time, we are also doing survey of pastorals. So pastoralists and gender based, which woman, which household, which man, what is the ownership format, we are collecting that also. So my request to everybody would be that even these fields of information which we have included for the first time, please give your truthful information on this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam, for the great podcast. We look forward for many episodes from CI Academy. Sabko namaskar. Thank you so much.